Hi, welcome back. The response on the first video was super motivating. I've tried hard to implement the goals I mentioned in the first video. First off, I wanted to work on the combat. Both enemies and the player now have health bars and can deal and take damage. I'm really happy with how it looks. The slime also got a bit of a redesign. Secondly, I wanted to make a healing spell. Here's the spell. I also made a shield spell and 2 potions while I was at it. Every spell and consumable item work with custom resources. They are separated into visuals and purpose. During this I also made a player hotbar. I abandoned the idea of the spell selection wheel as it clashes with the art style, and I can't find a way to draw it pixelated. The wheel is drawn in Godot itself. And I do like how the hotbar turned out. Lastly, I wanted to design a first area. This goal isn't 100% complete, but I've gotten to a solid start. The forest up north needs attention, I haven't had time to give it. I got distracted and made this wave animation instead. And played around with shaders and light. I also made 2 NPCs. More importantly, I've decided on a set size for the different areas or levels in the game, and made a base map to use as a guide when doing actual level design. The areas will be 100 by 100 tiles that are 16 by 16 pixels large. The map itself consists of 70 of these areas. The map was made with an app called Atlas I found in the Play Store on my phone. I'll link it in the description. I've implemented a state machine into the enemies and player using the add-on Limbo AI. It didn't exactly make the code any shorter, but it got rid of a bunch of if statements that kept breaking if I as much as looked at them wrong. A painful rework was changing from animated sprite 2D to the animation player for the enemies. I prefer setting up animations in the animated sprite 2D because it's easier to set up animations and to test out the different frame rates. Hopefully this footage of me struggling here illustrates my point. But the key symbol is really useful and probably mandatory for enemies with several attacks. I'm gonna do this for the player as well in the future. In the first video I mentioned the concept being trading physical strength for magic. I had thought about having physical skills and magic skills, but now I'm leaning more towards having player level decide physical strength, and it's these levels that are being sacrificed for learning magic skills. It feels more true to the concept and is easier for me to implement as a total beginner. I'm considering reworking the melee attacks. Currently the attack direction is the direction the player is facing. You left click to attack, and you cast spells with right click, and you aim your spells with the cursor. It would make more sense to base the melee attack direction on the cursor as well. I would also like to separate the weapon from the player sprite, so there's a future option of adding different weapons. I'm really eager to create the map and build the world, and make my own graphics, but there's other basic things I need to figure out and rework first. If I don't solve them, making the world is useless because the gameplay will be boring. The enemies need to get smarter. I'll have to figure out how to make them avoid obstacles and give them dodge and block behaviors to actually make combat fun. Also, do something about the excessive stun lock both enemies and the player have. Player experience and levels need to be implemented. And I need to make a menu system. I'll put a system for learning magic under this umbrella. Also, customizable hotbar. An inventory needs to be made, and I need to work on the story. I also need to rework the camera. It's set on the player with limits based on the map's area size. But this won't work on smaller scenes, for example the mine, and when entering houses. Then there's the melee system rework, which should include a basic melee combo. This is a lot of stuff, and especially the menu feels daunting. The next devlog will be whenever I feel like I've made enough progress to show off. I won't set specific goals to meet for the next devlog this time, since my day job starts again next week, and I know it will be hectic to start with. The operating system there changed, so I'll have to relearn everything from scratch. Yikes. I'll share my progress and new features as short-form content though. But the next full devlog video will probably take a while. Thanks for watching, see you next time!